Hey, what's up guys? This is going to be my Battlefield Hardline First Impressions video. Now, Battlefield Hardline is the newest addition into the Battlefield series, and I have to say I actually like it. A lot of people were a little disappointed that Battlefield was going in the direction of a cops and robbers game, where traditionally Battlefield has been known as a military first-person shooter. But I think it's nice that a gaming company is actually switching it up a little bit. I played the game today for about 4 or 5 hours. And I played half campaign, half multiplayer. So this isn't a full review. That'll come later in the future. This is just my first initial impression, so take this with a grain of salt. Let's talk about the campaign, the irrelevant stuff. So I play the campaign, and most people, they don't buy first-person shooters for the campaign. They buy them for the multiplayer. But for a campaign, because every time I buy a first-person shooter, I usually play the campaign all the way through, and then I'll do the multiplayer to just get, my blood flowing a little bit. So overall, the campaign is cool. It feels sort of like a Miami Vice, TV show. The characters on it, they're sort of predictable, a little bit cheesy, but after, a couple hours of playing with them, they sort of grow on you, and their cheesy jokes make you laugh. Now let's move on to the bread and butter of the Battlefield series. And oh yeah, with the campaign also, one of the things that I noticed, and now I'll move on to the multiplayer, is that the graphics for the cutscenes, the actual gameplay, the graphics is what really struck out to me, is that the people actually look like next gen. It just blows my mind away. Like, the people actually look real. Like, if you look at the actors that are in that are being portrayed in the game, they actually look like their real life counterparts. I mean, not 100%, but it's definitely something that makes you want to get a next gen console. And then you have the PC people who are like, oh yeah, PC Master Race, blah blah blah. But I'm playing this for the PS4. I have an Xbox One and gaming PC, but I want to get it for the PS4 because most of my friends are on a PS4. But let's move on to the multiplayer. Now, this is the bread and butter of the Battlefield series, or any first-person shooter, is always the multiplayer. And I have to say that, starting off with the cons of the Battlefield Hardline multiplayer, is that it doesn't feel anything like previous Battlefields due to the fact that it's a cops and robbers game. Now obviously, with the Battlefield series, they want to make it realistic. So, you're not going to have that military feel and weaponry in the game. A lot of the weapons I've seen, to put it like, simply, it's like going from like a Glock or a Beretta to like a Saturday Night Special. That's the way it sort of feels with the guns, and then also the vehicles. See, Battlefield, to me, one of the major ways that differentiates itself from the Call of Duty series is vehicles and vehicle combat. And even though I only played it for about 3 hours on a multiplayer today, and I also played it for about 7 or 8 hours on the beta testing, it just feels like the vehicles. It just doesn't feel like it would be in a Battlefield video game. There's like cars, motorcycles, which you had those in the previous Battlefields, but you had sophisticated weaponry. And I know I'm just this is a little picky because it is a cops and robbers game. If you're expecting this to be like the previous Battlefields, then this probably isn't the game. This probably isn't a game you should buy. And the other thing that I sort of saw with the multiplayer is the spawning. It just doesn't make sense. I've literally spawned within maybe 10 feet of an enemy pointing right at me, and I get killed. And that's something that probably needs to be fixed with Battlefield Hardline. But compared to the release of Battlefield 4, this game on launch has actually worked quite well. I haven't had any issues with bugs or servers not working or glitches. I mean, they really took their time and energy to make sure this game works well, because when you release a game that's half-assed, people are going to have a very negative opinion on it. So let's move into the pros. Obviously, I like it because it's a new feel. There's new game styles such as the heist, which I like playing. I probably played heist for half the time I was on multiplayer, and I played conquest the other half. And the urban feeling of the game is something that I like. It's urban combat versus police, and I guess it would be bank robbers or some sort of paramilitary organization. But I think that the multiplayer is pretty good, and the loadout is completely different as well. Instead of gaining experience for weapons, you actually through either, I don't know, any type of action that would usually grant you experience, you actually get money for. So you might get $20 if you give your buddy a lift around the corner, sort of like an Uber taxi or something. And you know, killing a bad guy or killing a police officer, whichever team you're on, you get like $200, etc. So that's how you unlock weapons. And that's actually like how the leveling up is when it comes to guns, because instead of having to wait to get each gun through either the campaign or experience leveling, you can just buy which one you want. So instead of, so that's pretty good. But in closing, overall, Battlefield Hardline is a new. There's police out there right now. It's almost as if I'm playing the game. But if you're expecting Battlefield Hardline to be like previous Battlefields, then this game is not going to be like that. I think that Battlefield Hardline is Battlefield in name only. Yeah, you have like conquest, etc. You have vehicle combat, first-person shooter, but most first-person shooters are very, they have the same or they have the similar characteristics. And Battlefield Hardline, just to me personally, doesn't really feel that much like any of the previous Battlefields. Maybe I would want to see a Battlefield Battlefield Bad Company, which is what a lot of people actually want instead of Hardline. But I'll be making a full review of the game, and then I'll also be uploading Let's Plays periodically. So look forward to that in the future. That's all I gotta say. Thanks for watching. Comment below, and have a nice day.